And so explaining the power of God to someone who is not religious is more important than to the believer, because if that person can get something from it, it's so powerful. But if you've only ever explained it to your congregation, you're not going to be able to communicate it to me or another person or a person who is maybe there's even an atheist. There's no way they're going to be able to digest it.
Yeah, well, that was part of the potential danger of joining forces with the Daily Wire, because they're obviously a conservative enterprise. And my family and I thought long and hard about that. I mean, first of all, I like working with the Daily Wire. They've been extremely good to work with. They've left me alone. Not only have they left me alone to do whatever it is that I want to do, they've helped me do things I wanted to do that I wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And I also felt that it was appropriate and wise to find some allies on the social media front because, well, I got banned off Twitter. And, YouTube hasn't harassed me much, although they've demonetized my daughter several times for reasons that are completely opaque. And God only knows, what might happen on the YouTube front. I know they've demonetized Yeonmi Park many times, the North Korean dissident. And that's because Yeonmi Park objects to North Korea, and you'd think you'd be able to get away with that, given that it's, after all, North Korea, which is like the worst dictatorship anyone's ever managed to produce, which is really saying something, right? Because there's been some pretty bad dictatorships. And so, and obviously the Daily Wire is a conservative enterprise, and I was worried that that would compromise my ability to communicate with the very people that you were just discussing, especially about the things that I want to talk about. But, also, I would say, I don't exactly know what to make of this. You also find your friends where they're willing to have you, and I get pilloried quite often for not talking to enough people on the left. And a huge part of the reason for that is that most of the time they won't talk to me.